This is true, really news with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
Workers at Buy New England Lobsters in Charleston, Massachusetts, or Charlestown. I don't know when you're in Massachusetts.
At a town named after Charles in Massachusetts.
Exactly. They took matters into their own hands when a man, later identified as 29-year-old Stephen Woodard, made off with one of their vans loaded with $10,000 worth of lobsters.
So 4 of them.
It was a lobster heist. A high-speed lobster chase ensued. Woodard was taking the lobsters to a well-known crime syndicate in Boston who deals with stolen crustaceans. As you know, the market for stolen seafood is volatile, and the merchandise must be fenced quickly, prepared, and consumed before it goes bad. Stop. I can't. You're doing it. Stop it. Jumping into their own van loaded with fresh lobsters, the employees quickly gave chase, all the while shouting at Woodard, "Stop!" and "Sir, that'll be $24.77 a pound wholesale." All to no avail. Finally, they lost their tempers and shouted at Woodward, "Din snuskummer," which is Swedish for "you dirty lobster."
I knew it!
This only infuriated the thief as he rammed his truck filled with lobsters into their truck filled with lobsters. Employees scuttled over and detained Woodard until police arrived.
Scuttled over.
You are welcome.
So picture this. You're Dwight Turner, and you want a full contact encounter with a black leopard. As you may have guessed, Turner is suing the owner of the animal sanctuary in Davie, Florida, after he paid $150 because what was supposed to be a full contact encounter was, in fact, a good old-fashioned mauling.
Who could possibly be surprised?
Well, I'm guessing Dwight Turner.
Apparently, it was at least him.
And whatever attorneys he's brought in, because I'm thinking, Michael Pogge told Mr. Turner that time with the leopard last summer for $150. He said, you can go in, you can play with it, rub its belly, take pictures, blah, blah, blah. But the leopard attacked as soon as Turner entered the enclosure, leaving his scalp, quote, hanging from his head. Authorities said Pogge is licensed to have the leopard, but he has been cited by Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation for allowing the contact and for maintaining captive wildlife in unsafe conditions. Would that be Mr. Turner?
I should have known it was Florida, man.
Well, there's only 2 places that could happen.
Florida and
California, anywhere.
There you go.
Yeah.
From the Titter Wayback Machine.
Depends if you want young nutballs or older nutballs.
This time set for 1960.
Oh, good. As long as it's not 2020.
Scientists from the Poultry Research Branch of the U.S. Department of Agriculture said they successfully created a chicken-turkey hybrid. The new bird was dubbed
turkey?
A chirk.
Really?
This was the first time such crossbreeding had ever been successfully achieved, but
wouldn't tucking have been more fun?
That success. This is what's called a limited success, okay?
Mm.
One of the obstacles being that chickens have 6 pairs of chromosomes. Turkeys have 9.
Well, see, if you divide and carry the 2, I can do the maths.
Chirks ended up having 15 chromosomes. They created 3 male chirks. Here are some of the features.
You can't have a chirk. It's got to be a chirkin or a turkey.
Okay, I'll call them chirkies from now on if that helps you.
Or a tuckin.
They had only half the intelligence.
Because if you fried them, it'd be a fryer tuckin. I'll just go sit in the corner.
Oh my God. I wish you had a dog. I could send you to lay by the dish. So they only had half the intelligence of either chickens or turkeys, which are pretty stupid creatures anyway, the domestic kinds.
Turkeys the bright ones that you have to have a cover over when it rains?
Yeah. They were mostly silent, only letting out a feeble chirp if disturbed. They had the long neck, legs, and white skin of a turkey, but the general size and coloring of a chicken. Their feathers grew twisted. All 3 chirkins had some defect, such as crooked legs or beaks, and they had to be kept in a separate pen from the chickens and turkeys to prevent them from being pecked to death.
what happens when you mess around with. You would think Mary Shelley would have explained that to us very well.
This is true. Really's Poultry Research Department has not been able to confirm that the entire current population of Jerkins reside exclusively in Washington, D.C.
Once vacation is over, we should be able to tell. So in the United Kingdom, Essex to be exact, firefighters are blaming a dog for a small house fire.
And not a turtle this time.
No, wasn't like a hippo, a walrus. Nah.
Hang on, were any marsupials potentially involved?
No, it was a dog.
Okay. We've got that category out there.
It was a dog, according to although I would like to see a fire started by a duck-billed platypus just once.
Just one time.
Just one time.
That's all we're asking.
According to crews, the blaze began when a husky managed to turn on the microwave while its owner was away. I owned a Malamute there, one of those northern breed dogs like a husky. He's a great dog. He was a smart dog, but he was not smart enough to figure out how to turn on the microwave.
Just smart enough to get themselves into tons of trouble.
Other trouble, yes. Told you, right? The police came one day because our neighbors said we're leaving our dog outside.
Yeah.
And it's cold weather. You should really leave. You should be indoors more. And then around the corner, you hear the little tink, tink, tink of shadow paws on the hardwood floor.
Yep.
And the police officer looks and said, "Make sure he has water, okay? Have a good day."
Thank you very much, officer.
Where was I now? There was a fire. A dog started it. The homeowner had been using the appliance to store a loaf of bread. What do they... In the UK, do you store loaves of bread like in aluminum foil? What?
Where do they store their fish? In the bathroom?
Yes.
And why wouldn't you?
Thankfully, the homeowner spotted the fire while checking in on the dog via a streaming video app. So I'm guessing the dog has been more than a little bit of a handful if it's already got video on him. Fire crews were able to put out the fire before it spread beyond the kitchen. No one was hurt in the fire. The dog escaped unharmed and is plotting his next catastrophe. Oh, I know those northern breeds.
I love them. They're wonderful.
Once they get a taste for mayhem, they're gone.
There is that problem.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.